So your back is hurting, huh? And this probably isn't the first time that you've heard it. No matter how many stretches you do, no matter how many exercises you avoid, that back pain seems to keep coming back. Well, you're not alone. Today's a quick one. Stick around and I'll show you the best 6 exercises you can do to prehab your back so that you do not injure it again. Oh, and Ben's in India right now. Here's a video of him feeding a cow.
We're gonna give this cow a little banana.
Just me and figure out where to go.
Yeah, I'll eat that banana.
Here's a misconception. Stretching your back is not a long-term solution. It'll be a short-term remedy for the pain, but it will not lead to long-term resilience for your back. What we want is a strong and stable back and core. What we want are flexible hips and a flexible thoracic spine. When our hips and our thoracic spine don't move so well, our lumbar spine compensates. And it does not like to do the 2 jobs of those 2 regions, especially when you combine their movements. Watch our videos Hunchy and Sticky Hips if you want details on how to loosen up the thoracic spine and loosen up your hips. All right, let's get to it. Here are the 6 exercises to build a better back. So while stretching may not be a permanent solution, it does play its role in this. What I would use it for is a means to get myself to move correctly. If I have tightness in muscles that inhibit my ability to move correctly, it's important I do it so that I can move correctly to prevent injury. So this first one is going to be a seated QL stretch. It does do much more than that, but you definitely feel it there. What's important is that my left leg is long, my right leg is bent. I'm going to turn and face the right leg and then lower my body down to my left. You might not make it as far as I can, but do your best to get as far down as you can and you'll get the benefit of the stretch. I'm going to lengthen this arm, lengthen my top arm, and I'm going to try to rotate myself and open up my chest. I'm driving my left elbow into my left leg, rotating and opening up as much as I can. I'm able to feel a stretch in my lat, down my oblique, and down my QL. I would hold this stretch for about 30 seconds on each side. The next exercise is a seated deadlift. Your spinal position here really matters. You want to make sure that you're in spine neutral with a slight anterior pelvic tilt. The first thing that you want to do before you load this exercise is make sure that you have the large range of motion, meaning you can hinge almost to horizontal without losing position in your spine. From there, you might hold dumbbells just below you like you would for an RDL or a deadlift. And again, you want to make sure that you maintain that position in your spine while hinging forward and coming back up. So our next exercise is for thoracic mobility. This exercise scales very well in that there's a lot of different ways you could do it to make it easier or harder. I'm going to show you kind of the middle ground, and I'll tell you and show you different ways to do it to make it easier or harder. So if you're using a cable or a band with handles, setup is important. I like to grab it and then rotate my thumb down, pinky up. Use both hands. I'm going to press it up over my head, and now I'm going to lower myself down, right arm in between my knees. I'm going to bring the handle down to the floor, and this is my starting position. I'm going to slowly rotate, very controlled, up to the side as far as I can manage with control, and then I'm going to bring it back down, making sure that I'm twisting my torso and not just adducting or pulling my arm to the floor. To get out of this safely, I would suggest bringing it to your shoulder, slowly sitting up, and then grabbing it with your other hand. To scale this exercise up, I would just increase the weight. To scale this exercise down, you might use a light resistance band because of the variability in tension. It makes this exercise a little bit easier to manage. Although the setup is the same, when I twist, it's not pulling me nearly as hard. For this exercise, I would do 10 reps on each side. Our next exercise is a side plank, and this exercise also scales very well. Here's a few key things to focus on. Number 1 is shoulder position. I want to make sure that I create distance between my ear and my shoulder as to not be shrugged. I want to stack my feet, stack my hips, and stack my shoulders. When we get tired, oftentimes we find our butt rocking backwards. If you were to see yourself from above, you'd want to see a straight line from heel to hip to head. To modify this exercise down, I would just bend that bottom leg, but again, you want to maintain position from heel to hips to head. Holding this exercise anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds is great. The next exercise is the carry. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but the core principle is spine stabilization. So for most versions of this carry, you want shoulders retracted and depressed, and you want to make sure that your hips remain under your shoulders. We don't want to be leaning backward or having them pop out behind us. A good standard across all variations of this exercise would be to try to move or hold for 30 to 60 seconds. The last exercise is a back extension. There's a whole lot of different machines and modalities and ways you can do this, and I'll show you a few, but the core principle is here to go from a flex position to an extended position and hold for a short period of time. I might do 10 reps with 3-second pauses at the top, and as you progress, you could start to hold weights, or like a lever, the farther I get my upper body over the edge here, the harder it's going to get. The less of my upper body hanging over, the easier it's going to get. A much less intense but still beneficial back extension would be using one of these half Bosu balls. I'm gonna lay down kind of with my belly button over the center. I'm gonna flex my spine and let it relax over the ball. Then I'm going to extend and straighten my spine up off the ground. To scale this one up, I might just start straightening my arms. The longer my body gets, the more challenging this gets. The shorter my body gets, the easier it gets. Well, there you go. Those are 6 great exercises that are going to make a major difference in your lower back's resilience. You can take these 6 exercises and make it an entire workout, or pepper these exercises into workouts you're already doing. Start with light weights. Form and range of motion are the most important thing. I cannot stress this enough. If you are someone who has re-aggravated your back more than once, your tolerance for pain and injury is a lot lower than you want it to be. Take this slow, start to scale up, progress your strength, progress your mobility. Over time, your back will get stronger, and it will get better, and it will get more resilient, and you are less likely to hurt it again. I want to speak from personal experience here. I do these exercises. These are part of my workout. I used to have back pain. It has now been an entire year since I've felt even a little bit of back pain. It's incredible how this really can change your life if you take it seriously. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know how you think Ben did with that cow. Let me know what you think about this workout or these exercises. Please give us some comments and let us know what we can do better. What more you want to know about exercise, what more you want to know about fitness, anything that we can help you with, we want to. Thank you and have a good day.